You're listening to Until They Sleep, a podcast where two parents finally get to sit down and discuss all the different things that run through their heads every day because their four kids are finally asleep. Thanks for listening.
Welcome to Until They Sleep. I am Daniel, and I'm joined by my wife, Chantel.
Hello.
And thank you for joining us today. And I feel like I'm being so formal right now.
Yeah, I think it's because we haven't recorded in a little bit.
Yeah, and then right before, the pre-record thing, we were cleansing our recording space because I don't know if you can tell by the voice, but
your voice is not doing well.
Yeah. I've been a little under the weather.
Yeah, you've had a cold.
Yeah, and
you lost your voice.
I lost my voice from our football game.
And then after that, you got a cold.
And then I got a cold. Yeah, bad chest cold.
Yeah, that's what you get for yelling so much.
It's going around. Apparently, a lot of people are getting the cold, and I guess a new wave of COVID, I guess, from what I hear.
But that's not what you have.
That's not what I had. So yeah.
No need to talk about it.
So yeah, thank you guys for joining us as always. No, we're not calling it quits. We're still, kicking.
And we still haven't changed our name.
Yeah, we still haven't changed it.
Or changed the format.
Maybe we'll just do that so Neanderthal section later. But with that, today's subject, I just wanted to talk about something that I've noticed that's been driving me crazy for many years now. And I want to talk about manners.
What brought it up more recently?
Yeah, so I have this thing that drives me crazy. It's one of my pet peeves, right? For me, I just find it so disrespectful. It really pisses me off when I greet people and I'm not greeted back.
Okay.
It's just a common courtesy for me. I think there's nothing wrong with just saying hello or good morning when you walk in somewhere.
Yeah. But it couldn't be like they didn't hear you.
It's hard not to hear me.
I know that is true. But I admit I sometimes don't hear you. And
I am also very... how can I speak with my hands. My body language is very loud also, It's not just me speaking. I wave, So if I walk, say good morning, I might raise my hand and there might be a wave. There might be a smile on my face. I understand. It drives me, it just freaking drives me crazy. It happens a lot at work. I always walk in and I always say good morning to everyone or I say hello, and it just drives me crazy when I don't get it back. So the first time I'm like I do think that maybe they didn't hear me. Second time around, I'm like, okay, that person's just no manners, or they're just rude and disrespectful. And then by the third time, I'm like, all right, you're cut off. I am not wasting my time. You've already disrespected me 3 times, so I'm not gonna continue giving you respect.
Okay. So I think some people are oblivious to it because I know there's been times when or even my mom for that fact, because this is something that does happen in our household where, one of us will be in the kitchen and everyone else just kind of walks into the space, let's say first thing in the morning, and someone will say good morning, but no one else does. And then we get louder, good morning.
Right.
Good morning, until people respond. And then depending on who it is, there's a sense of frustration. It's oh, why are you being so rude? You better, or, let's say we didn't hear the kids say good morning back to their grandmother. We're your grandmother's telling you good morning. You better say it back. And then they're but we did say it. You just didn't hear me. But it's true, there's a spot in the kitchen where you can't hear well.
Well, and I imagine, you're cooking breakfast, you're doing other stuff, so you're not giving it full attention, right?
Yeah.
Then that's understandable. That's your own house, and so you're correcting it because you're seeing they're your kids, and you're oh, that's your elder. You're supposed to respect your elder, and on top of it is your grandmother. It's not just another stranger, right?
But it's not that they didn't say it. We just didn't hear them say it.
Yeah. It's same household, but still, I can see that. But when I'm talking about when you go out,
well,
and you do things. So I mean, we're Hispanic, right? So
okay.
I think it also kind of has to deal with culture cultural wise or religious or however you were brought up?
I don't know. I don't know if that really
Well,
matters.
because in Spanish we have a way that we have to talk to our elders. Like there's a grammatically, phonetically way of speaking.
Generationally.
Well, no, it's not, because when you and me are equals and we're the same age, we say tú, right? It's like you. We're at the same level.
Only if I know you.
No. It's we're the same age. You get a tú. Like that's it. When it's an elder, it's usted.
Okay.
So that's for us. Like in Spanish, that's how it works.
If I don't know you, even if you're my age and we're not friends, I'd say usted.
Exactly, because you're being respectful. You're letting them know that it's a professional courtesy.
Yeah.
You're giving them a respect. If they like you and they acknowledge you and they want to have a friendship or be an equal, then they'll say, que usted, tutéame.
Yeah.
You know? Don't talk to me of usted. Don't talk to me like in that manner. Talk to me like we're friends.
Well, like an example this week was our owner was in the office and I always call him Mr. and his last name.
Right.
And he tells me, no. Call me. And then his first name, he says, the Mr. died a long time ago. And so,
right.
You know, I was like, okay, but in my way I was raised, because he's so much older than my manners are
and your boss on top of it.
And he's the owner of the company. I'm like old enough to be my dad. You know? So
But that, like I say, again, that was culturally. Your grandmother taught you that. Your mother taught you that. Your father taught you that. Because they grew up in that culture. They spoke Spanish was their first language. Or French. And it's the same thing. They speak to their elders in a different way.
Yeah. Most cultures do hold each level.
You do with our kids, right? Like, you never say, let's say you're talking to, I'm throwing a name out there. Let's say Marie. Okay, here's Marie. Hey, Marie, how you doing? Marie, blah, blah, blah. The kids come in and they're like, Marie, can I get a drink? And you're not gonna put up for that. You're gonna be like, no. You're gonna be, oh no, it's not Marie. You call her Mrs.
whatever her last
Johnson.
name is. Yeah.
You know, call her Miss whatever their last name is, right? And it's like, you're not equal. She's your elder. Treat her with respect. Kind of like when you speak to your teacher, you call them by the,
Yeah,
Mr.
but there's
Mrs.
a lot of parents and a lot of adults who let the kids call them by their first names.
And so, but see, and then that's where I'm going. People from the outside or older generations are like, how disrespectful.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think it's disrespectful. Like, we had our neighbors and, the kids, our girls, especially when they were very little and learning to talk, they would try to call the neighbors by their first name. And I was like, no, that's Mrs. C
right.
or Mr. C. It's not.
I know what you're talking about. And they also had kids. And then they're like, well, what do I call you?
Didn't do that.
Yeah. And I was like, call me Mr. Danny.
Yeah.
Right?
And you let them call you by your first name, where I was like, no, I'm Mrs. Delgado.
Right. Yeah.
Like, you don't call me by my first name. You don't call me Mrs. S. No, you call me Mrs. Delgado. That's what you call me. Whereas their parents were like, oh, you can. Those neighbors were okay with our kids calling them by their first name.
Yeah,
like,
but we never allowed
Mrs. first name, know? And I wasn't okay with that.
No. And on top of it, I mean, they were younger than us, right?
Yeah, so they were younger than us, yes. Yeah.
So then manners are lost. It's one of those things that I think are dying out and are no longer used. So I was talking about work, and it's like, that's my one. Like, that's one of my pages that just, it drives me crazy. It pisses me off. I will lose all respect for people at work. I've done it before when I've gone to say, hey, good morning, or morning, and then I've lost it once or twice where I looked at the person, I was like, fuck you, buddy. That's it. We're done. I'm not ever gonna greet you again. Like, you actually looked at me and rolled your eyes or looked away. So you're letting me know how you feel about me.
Blatant. Yeah.
So, okay, we'll talk if it's necessary, but that's it.
But then doesn't gossip start about them complaining sometimes? So like, oh, so-and-so, Danny's not talking to me, or he won't greet me anymore.
Exactly. Yeah. But
And
that's always the victim, right?
yeah.
The one side of the story when nobody wants to listen to both sides of the story.
Which is also,
right?
I think, part of manners, right? Because I think I remember one of the manners my grandma, my dad's mom, used to try to tell us is she tried to instill that just be quiet. Like, keep your opinions to yourself. And if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it. That she was very big on all that. Yeah. And that's the type of person she was. Like, she never spoke ill. I never recall her speaking ill of anybody until I was, more closer to before her passing, once her mind started to go.
So you had two very interesting grandmothers and from different parts of the Americas. So let me ask you, what are some of the manners that they like that, like what you're telling me right now? I like that. So tell me some of the manners that they taught you, or your mother, or your grandfather, like manners that were expected of you.
Okay, so
when it came to, I don't know, going to church,
we were definitely expected to go to church, but that wasn't so much manners. I mean, when we were at church, you're just expected to be polite and quiet.
Okay.
And for my Catholic grandmother, that was just life. Like, children are meant to be seen, not heard. She was never mean about it. And I actually had a lot of liberty with her just because I was the only one who really spent time with her.
Right.
But I was definitely expected to be polite to anybody I met that was older than me. I was expected to say thank you and please. Okay. And I was expected to think about my elders before myself. And even though she always did everything for me, it's kind of weird when you have like that grandma connection and she kind of does everything for you. But she really did have the opinion of just keep your negative comments to yourself. If you don't agree with someone or if you don't like what they're saying, just shut your mouth. So that was like the main one. Because of her faith. She's like, only God can judge them. Mm-hmm. That was her premise on everything. Like, when we would be leaving, she would be like, blessing us as we're walking out the door, as the car is driving away, she's blessing us, putting us in God's hand. Anytime you'd ask her something, Diosito sabe, only God knows. Mm-hmm. But for her, it's not my place to judge or have an opinion on whatever's going on. God will judge them for whatever they're doing or saying. And she wanted me to be that way. Don't judge, don't say. God will judge them and say them. Okay. Or say whatever,
keep your opinion to yourself. Don't speak
but
it
it was
loud.
based in faith. Whereas my other grandma was extremely opinionated, but she was very good at keeping it to herself too. She was big on...
The opinions were behind closed doors.
Yes, opinions were always behind. Yeah, you don't tell anybody what you think about them to their face or in front of others. And again, these were things they told me when I was younger. As they got older and started to lose their minds, that all went out the window. Because they would say things and we would all, it all changed. But for the boys, my brothers were expected to hold doors open. We were expected to say grace for every meal and be reverent during grace. No fidgeting, no looking around, no giggling. This is part of the manners. The manners is you fold your hands and you bow your head and you close your eyes and you listen to what the prayer is and help. That was another thing. You're expected to help. That's part of manners. If you see somebody doing something and they're older than you, you always ask, do you need some assistance with that? Those are the expectations. What about for yourself?
Okay, for myself, one of the things was always treat others with respect, right? Mm-hmm. Always say please and thank you, Mr. or Mrs. Mm-hmm. May I? And be quiet. That was one of the main ones. Be quiet, This is like if we're going like to people's places.
Oh yeah, don't touch anything. That was the other one. Yeah,
definitely don't touch something. Don't accept any food, right? Because you don't know what financial situation they're in. So they're being courteous. They're using their manners and offering you something. So do not accept it because you're taking away stuff from them.
But that one's a double-edged sword right there.
Yes, because you could offend them.
Yes,
right?
Exactly.
But we were kind of taught, like, you say, like, they offer you something to eat or something. I say, no, thank you. We just ate. Mm-hmm. You know? Or I just had something on my way over. Mm-hmm. I just ate, you know, an empanada or a donut or something, right? No matter how hungry you are, you might accept a cup of water, maybe a cup of coffee, like if you're a grown up, you know, and you sit there, like, be quiet, but, you know, be respectful. Obviously, if there's a woman, and these are values that, you know, now can be considered sexist, I guess, but, you know, if there's a woman or a girl and there's no more seats, give her your seat. Obviously, elders get priority over everything. If it's a gathering where it's a feast, everybody eats before you.
Yes, the adults eat before the kids.
You pick up the plates. You wash your own plate. Be helpful. Help pick up, clean up, take out trash, like sweep, whatever, you know.
But
offer help.
Yeah.
Like, be gracious of the hospitality that people have given to you.
Hospitality.
Hospitality. Thank you. So, you know, to show them that you are grateful and you appreciate what they've done for you, right?
Yeah.
That's typical things. When you go out in public, go out to the store or whatever not, like you said, you behave. Don't embarrass me.
Yeah.
Don't ask me for shit because you ain't getting shit.
Yep.
Try me. I'm going to whoop that ass when we get home.
I mean, that's not part of manners. That's just like an expectation.
No, because you're out in public, so you have to show people that you're a wavy-headed child. Like you said, you are to be seen, not heard. If you embarrass the family, there will be consequences when you get back, right? Always hold the door. Your mother stands up, get up, and, you know, when she leaves the table, stand up when she comes back.
Yeah, we didn't get that one emphasized.
If you go to a house where they pray, even though if you don't know how to pray, just put your head down and, you know, be respectful. And if they offer you to say grace and be like, I am not but a guest, this is your house, please, you know, that's your duty.
And again, that's a double edge too, because in some households, the guest is the one who should pray because they bring blessing. Like, having them in the house is a blessing.
Right.
So
luckily for me, they were more than happy. It's like, oh, thank you. What such great manners. Like, I was welcome to a lot of places because I was like, this kid has really good manners.
Yeah.
So that was my thing, and so I've noticed it with our kids, you know, especially our boys. I'm really tough on them, you know. I'm like, stand up, open the door, hold the door for those people, especially older people.
We don't even have to tell them anymore.
Yeah, we don't. And then, you know, it's all, like we said it before, it's nice when people are like such well-mannered young men. Yeah. You know, and it's like I tell them, your name is who you are, right? So when they say, you know, Kid Delgado 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever, the Delgados, they're going to be like, those are good kids. They're well-mannered. You know, they're very respectful. They're very quiet. You know, they're not acting a fool. Or, you were talking about the game, and I heard about one of the players being disrespectful towards
from the other
team, disrespectful towards
our team,
coach of our kids and team. And I was just thinking that when I was in football, we never looked or directed our eyesight or conversation towards the coaches of any opposing team. Yeah. Being in TJ or San Diego, that was just no.
You just
that's
don't
a
do
big
that.
no. Yeah. Same
thing with the coach.
refs.
That's a coach.
Especially with the refs. Like, you try to keep it. You get angry. You get frustrated. You might talk trash to the players or whatever. Not. And if we ever turned around and looked at the stands and talked to the people in the stands, that was it. Our night was over. No more playing. You know,
that didn't happen.
I got ejected. I remember my beginnings of retaliation and being a trash talker. I was playing in a basketball league in TJ for a summer. And when they do the whole introduction of the teams for the kickoff of the season, I came out and they're introducing the team, and I got booed. We got booed. Our team got booed. And it pissed me off. So I did some sign language is
some
with my
physical expression.
yeah body language, and it got me kicked out for 2 games, and that was from the league, so automatically out of that. First game in, same thing. I made a mistake. I went for a 3-pointer. I shot an air ball. Somebody in the stands made a comment and a joke, and I let them have it. And everyone suspended for that game. So I learned quick that, like, okay, I don't just ignore them. Shut them up by performance-wise, whatever. But it was a lesson for me. And not to mention that when I got home and my dad heard about it, like, he let me have it. Like, now people, your name is there. Like, your name, they know your name. Yeah. And that's what they're going to think about automatically when they hear your name now.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, crap.
And that's definitely something we're trying to instill in the boys, is that for them to understand that everything they do is a representation of, it reflects on the family. And I know there's many cultures who do this, and not just the Hispanic culture, but there's, the Japanese culture is super big on honor, and just Asian cultures in general, all over the world. It's really just the Western world where it seems
more modern world,
where it seems to be lost. This whole idea of everything you do reflects on your family, and your parents could be straight arrows, right? They're loved by the community, but you do something that makes you the black sheep, it automatically pulls down the family.
Yeah, so, you're that one black sheep in the family. You're that.
Yes, and people will question your family's credibility, right? And I think that even happened to us. I think that's happening to us right now, because our 7th grader wants to be in the robotics team at school. And our eldest, he did not like this teacher when he had him, and he didn't necessarily make the best choices when he was in that class. So now our son, even though he's not in that class because he's the brother of...
Oh, this is news to me.
Yeah, I believe he got passed up. And he didn't get invited to join.
So it's funny you say that, because this is one of the conversations that I had with our oldest son before. There was a time when he wasn't doing good in some classes. And I told him, unfortunately for you, you're the first in the school. And what you do is going to affect your younger siblings, because you're putting that impression on those teachers.
Yeah.
And so eventually when another one shows up and they'll be like, oh, Delgado, are you related to,
Yeah. I mean, luckily it's only one teacher that has been an issue with.
All the other ones I love them.
Yeah, he loves every other teacher is great, or loves our son, our oldest son. So there's no issue. There's just this one teacher. And, it's unfortunate for our kid that this teacher is holding that against him, because not every child is the same, right? We all know siblings and our kid is not. We're not trying to say that our kid is super disrespectful. He just didn't make a good choice in class,
right? No, and he didn't go all out, and he just kind of cruised by. He just kicked back. He's like, all right, as long as I pass it, I'm fine. I'm not enjoying this class. Is
that manners though? Like have you looked up like what manners are?
Okay, so I'm glad you say that. So, I did.
What are manners? Because I kind of feel like maybe this is just more behavioral versus actual manners.
So I found this thing, and these are what are the 10 top like good manners, right?
This is you just Googled it.
Yeah, it's just a basic. Because I was like, well, what are manners? Or I just wanted to see what I will get, right? Because some people just. I really think manners are lost. There's people no longer open the door. People people don't say thank you anymore. Like we said, they talk to their elders with like they're their equals.
Like they're their equals.
They disrespect their mothers. They disrespect their fathers, their grandparents, because their family, it doesn't matter. They
All
throw
those
tantrums in the stores.
all those memes of children yelling, that little girl, you go clean my room.
Right, stuff like that. So it made me really think about what are manners, right? Like what exactly is expected to be under the manners subject. And like I said, work started it for me because I keep on going back to this, but recently this like really irritated me. There was one guy at work, and I said good morning, and they just looked at me and they're like, I'm like whatever. I was like, all right, but 5 steps into passing me, there's people behind me from work, like we're like in an office kind of area, and then he's like, "Hey, good morning, guys. How you doing?" So automatically, I was like, "All right, he's got a problem with me."
Yeah.
Right? He's got a problem with me. I was like, even if I walk in and I don't say morning anymore, and I just nod like an acknowledgement, right? I bob my head. I said like, "What's up?" You know, and they looked at me and they just like they didn't see me.
Yeah.
I don't know, but you know,
I don't know. They just don't like you.
From SoCal and somebody,
I don't know if that matters anymore because
the black and brown community, like nod at you and you don't nod back. We got a problem. Like we got a problem. But then again, I hate to sound kind of like racist, but this person is none of those. It's a white person, so they don't make. They don't understand that. You know, they don't know that.
They don't know the rules.
They don't know the rules. You know,
They don't. But see, and that's the thing is, so every culture, every group has its idea of what manners are. Like, you know, the whole head nod, a proper manner is that you just nod back. So when you don't acknowledge a nod or you don't acknowledge a hello, you just have bad manners. But it really is more than that. It's not that they have bad manners, it's that they don't like you.
Yeah. So when I was in the Army, it was funny. I was in a platoon where I had a unit where there was a couple of New Yorkers, right? So I picked up the "How you doing?" for the longest time. It's one of those things. And how you doing? How you doing? And I don't know if a lot of people knew this, but sometimes when you say "How you doing," it's not like I want to know how you doing. It's like it is part of that, but it's like "What's up?" or "Good morning," or you know, "Top of the morning to you," or whatever. You know. It is that. Like, it's just, how you doing? I'm doing. You doing? I'm doing. Cool. That was the thing. So it became a thing. So it is funny because a lot of times some people say, "Hey, how you doing?" And it goes into this whole, "Oh, well, you know."
Yeah, I don't need an explanation. It's just, that's what it's.
All right. So real quick, I went off the radar. So I'm back to the 10 good manners things, right? 10 good manners for students that you need to teach.
Oh, staying on task and not getting sidetracked.
Number 1. Greetings, right? So, good morning, good afternoon,
good evening.
Good evening. Yeah. How you doing? Number 2, being punctual. That is a big one.
Yeah, that's a big
honestly
one.
For work, for anything, a date. We just had that conversation with my son today, right? Being punctual. My dad taught me, no matter what, like I think about, like no matter how bad my relationship with my father is or whatever, not he gave me so many good lessons in life to be a great man, and one of them was being punctual. His rule was always, if you're on time, you're late. If you're 5 minutes early, you're pushing it. You know, you got to be 10, 15 minutes before time. So that's one. Respecting your elders is number 3. Sorry. Always speak the truth. Which is funny because you were just saying, you know, like keep your opinion to yourself.
Yeah.
But like you said, it was probably like a religious thing, right?
Well, I mean, on one side it was a religious thing, but on the other side it was just more of, you know, just mind your business.
Yeah, I think about it. The way I take this one about always speak the truth is like being honest about your mistakes.
Okay,
so
responsibility.
Like, yeah, responsibility. Like if you did something wrong or whatever, like, oh, who broke this?
Own up to it.
Own up to it. It's like, it was me. I apologize.
I agree. That's good manners.
So that's one for me. Asking for permission, right? That's a good one. You know, it's like, may I have a cup of water, or you know, may I use your restroom, or you know, may I take your daughter out to a movie?
Yeah, or even asking your parents to like go out with friends, not just disappearing.
Exactly. Yeah. That's a great one. Using please and thank you. Just simple, you know. Please, can I go outside?
Yeah.
Or, may I please be excused from dinner table? Thank you for dinner, mother. Thank you, for the ride. Listen actively.
Yeah, that one's hard.
And saying excuse me and I'm sorry. And excuse me is a big one. How many times people don't get bumped into and you never get excuse me.
Excuse me.
Oh, sorry.
I wonder on those, like, is it because the other person expecting you to say excuse me because they think it's your fault?
Yeah. I mean, I'm like a magnet for fucking people with bad manners then. Because there's times when I'm like standing there and they bump into me and, it's like, I'm like, excuse me. But I'm not saying it because I'm saying it. Excuse me. I'm saying it because I'm being a smartass. Like, excuse me.
And they don't say anything.
And they're like, oh. Sometimes you get a smartass. It's like, excuse you. And then usually something else comes out of my mouth, But,
well, now wouldn't good manners, we'll see. I guess you have bad manners when it comes to this because you don't keep your opinions to yourself. And you don't.
Oh, that's so wrong.
Like, that's not good manners. Like, when you say.
No, you're so wrong.
No, but that's not good manners.
Hell no.
See, like, you're, like, for example.
You have no idea how much I keep my opinions to myself.
For example, we were out yesterday with our son and other families.
All right.
Right. And you asked everybody if anybody drank so you could get a pitcher of beer for everybody to drink.
Right.
And one of the parents said, I don't drink. And you said, you need to start. That could be construed as bad manners, not a joke. Like, you meant it jokingly, but others could be like, how rude. What bad manners to tell somebody who doesn't drink that they need to start.
Yeah. If they're outsiders and they don't know us, then I can see that.
Well, and what if, like, you don't know that, they're maybe AA, like maybe they suffered from alcohol abuse when they were before, and that's why they don't drink anime. And then for you to say, well, you should start.
You're right. You're right on that aspect. But if it's somebody that I like and I've been having a relationship with, which is a person, right? It's another parent, and we've been spending the whole summer together.
Yeah.
We've had conversations.
Well, I'm just saying,
we talked about our frustrations. We help each other out.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about them.
So no. But I'm saying, we've become kind of like a friend, right? Like we have a group. Right?
Yeah.
We're becoming
connected by this group.
Yeah. So if I'm saying I'm going to get a picture, I'm thinking about getting a picture. I was like, but hold on. I was like, do you drink? No. Oh, well, you need to because I don't want to drink by myself. I don't drink either. But I feel like having one today.
Yeah, but when you said it, your voice again is very loud.
Right.
And I saw everybody's face and they were all very taken aback. Like, I can't believe he said that. Like, it was, they took it as rude. Like, there were other people around who took it as rude. Like, his kids were like, what? And I think sometimes people are short on manners, not realizing that others are going to take it as a non-manners.
Well, I guess I owe him an apology. So when I'm
not saying he did. I'm just saying there was others around him that took it that just the look on their face.
But that's the thing nowadays, though. Everybody gets easily offended for everything. Everyone's a bunch of pussies.
Well,
man.
Okay, but is this as best as bad manners?
Yeah. But you saying that I speak my mind. No, I'm speaking it right now.
Yeah.
But I honestly don't. Like, I've really tried. I've learned, and life has taught me that it's better just to keep my opinions on most of those things and just stay quiet.
Do what Grandma said and just keep it to yourself.
Yeah, no, because you're right. Like, there's nobody that's like close to my equal. There's nobody that understands me or sees it. Few friends have. One being Eddie, another one being Luis. Mm-hmm. And I guess Benny would be the other one that's starting to understand it.
Okay.
You're right. And there's a way of me speaking. There's a way of me acting. Mm-hmm. They don't get it. Maybe that's why there's that few people. Like, maybe that's why when I was in the East Coast, like, a lot of other culture people were, like, okay with me because they got my sense of humor, or we had the same sense of humor, or we talked the same way.
Well, you said like, because of the military background, there's just a way you guys talk to each other, period.
Right, yeah.
You have your set of manners that are acceptable, or not accept, what you guys have your own set of rules that are outside of civilian life, right? Outside
I
of
really
family
feel
life.
like shit right now. I really feel like shit.
Oh,
because
don't feel. I wasn't my.
because I didn't take it like that because I heard a laugh. I heard it. I heard his wife laugh. I kind of laughed because I had the smirk on my face like, oh, come on, man, you need to. I was like, come on, you gotta have a beer with me, You're right. I didn't think about, not everybody's kind of like you said, built like me or whatever. I mean, I also had drinking problems when I was young, and I quit, and I never drink. It's rare for me to drink.
Yeah,
right?
you just because of the heat and it was humid, you felt like having one. I
but
get it.
I thought I had it at that level of like I can joke with that guy. I made some jokes before.
I don't know. Maybe I read the room wrong, but when I turned, I saw shocked faces.
Well, see, that's the thing with you being my wife. You always judge me. You always judge me, and you always tell me that I'm the bad guy or I say the wrong things, and that I hurt, like I stretch coochies left and right, and
because I'm observing.
Yeah,
everything around us.
In my experience, there's been times when you misread stuff, but then again, in this group, I am an outsider because everybody seems to really like you and appreciate you because you do so much for the team, and I always feel like I'm the oddball out there, like usual. It was like,
well, but you're not. I mean, you don't have time to be there and do stuff.
It's not just that.
Different.
It's just sometimes the conversations that have been had, and then I make my comments.
Okay, well,
but I think we're in a circle of trust because if it's a bitch fest, and then I tell you what I think about your bitch fest or your point of view, or I'm trying to correct you.
I don't think we're at that level of confidence in that circle.
But see, if they're willing to do it, it's again the same problem. They can ditch it, but they can't take it.
Well, but that is that part of manners, though. Like being able to read a room. Is that manners?
But if I feel that we're in trust,
then
I should be able to trust you. If you're trusting me with your problems and your issues, your complaints, if I had to hear you nag,
okay,
then you can hear me make a
I agree. I agree.
Too.
I agree with that.
And you're letting me know that you trust me. So why can't I trust you?
I agree with that. I agree that that's how it should work. And yet the reality is that we live in a world where that doesn't work.
Exactly. So again, we go to the manners, right? So then and on this aspect, I guess I should accept your grandmother's point of view of shut up, listen, and keep my opinion to myself. All right? And just be like, que Dios te bendiga. Only God knows. Yeah. Only God knows. Yeah. What's one thing? The Lord works in a mysterious way.
Yeah.
God bless you. God bless you. That's going to be my new shit. God bless you.
Yeah.
God bless you.
When you have something to yell at somebody, just say God bless you.
Yeah. It's going to be my new one.
No, I didn't mean to make you feel like shit.
No,
it's just, we're talking about manners,
like
and it popped in my head like, is that bad manners?
But just to clarify it, I mean, it was only like, let's see, with us, it was 6 adults in there total.
Yeah, and 2 teenagers.
2 children. Yeah, we were waiting. But yeah.
Yeah. But either way, so like if a kid did that, like if one of our kids did something like that
to a grown up,
to one of their friends in front of us, we'd be like, hey, that wasn't nice. We would have called them out on it, like, hey, that wasn't nice.
Is it a girl or is it a boy?
I don't know. I would have called him out no matter what.
Yeah, if it was my son, I wouldn't because for me.
How sexist of you. Only if it was a girl.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's guys.
I get it.
Guys have a way of talking shit to each other.
But again, not these days. You don't know. You don't know what the range of trust is between people.
And you're right. It's true. And maybe for my boys having me as a father. And, dad does this and dad says this and he, shoots shits with us like this. And that's how he talks to our uncle, when they're together, like the shit talking between the two of them. It's hilarious to us. And so they're like, to them, that's how guys act. That's their examples. Like, oh, okay. Like our boys, they grew up seeing your brother and me talk shit all the time.
Yeah.
So to them, it's like, oh, okay. And maybe they go to school and they're like, hey, here's the guy. What's up, dumbass? And the guy's like, oh.
Yeah, they might not like it. To them, it might be rude.
Yeah, and so now that's why maybe our kids are kind of quiet and keep to themselves. Because they're like, damn, I don't know how to act around guys.
Well, because we made them awkward.
So, see, you do know. All right. Yeah, I've noticed that sometimes too. And maybe it's like what you're saying about me. There's a way how you speak.
Maybe.
What's the one thing you used to complain about me when you first met me? He's too cocky.
Yeah, it was super annoying.
Yeah, but it's not. And what's my joke always, right? It's not being cocky. It's confidence.
Yeah, but I found it rude to be calling my brothers your brother-in-law.
That's something different, though.
Yeah. But again, I felt it. I found you rude.
But and that might be the problem, right? Like that might be like I hate how it always ends up being with me, but
that's okay. People find me rude too.
I am
unapproachable.
I try to be confident, right? I am confident. Like I grew up not having the love and attention and the attaboys and the you're handsome and you're a great kid and all that. I didn't get that shit at home. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like those jokes where I looked in the mirror and I was like, you're going to do it. You're going to kick ass today. You do matter. You're going to make a difference. You are good looking. It's just nobody sees it yet. You are smart, but you just haven't found what you're smart on, right? Mm-hmm. So I hyped my own self up. So I was like, I'm not going to let people put me down. Mm-hmm. So when I speak, I'm going to be confident. I'm going to try to be confident and be sure of what I'm speaking of. If I don't know, I'm going to let you know I don't. If you talk to me a certain way, I'm going to talk to you back the same way, right? If I feel that you're being, like I'm talking about tones, if I feel that you're being disrespectful towards me.
Which is manners.
Right? I'm going to give you the same energy. Maybe not the first time. Maybe the first time I'm trying to read the room or read you as a person. Maybe you're bipolar. Mm-hmm. Maybe you're moody. Maybe you got shit going on in life, But if you keep on having the same attitude all the time, and I have to deal with you all the time and talk to you every day, and I see you every day and everything, and that's just who you are, then, and you're always going to disrespect me, I'm not going to give you that respect back. Respect is also earned.
You're not going to worry about the manners.
It's not given. It's earned, right? Mm-hmm. I'll give it to you if you're my elder. If you're a respectful person, I'll give you the respect. But
so then manners has nothing to do with any of this then, because manners really only relates to the most basic way of behaving in society.
It's certain things, yeah.
It's just the most basic thing because
it's survival of the fittest.
Everything else is some type of developmental idea. But we teach our children basic manners: be polite, be respectful, listen to your elders.
Be polite.
Be punctual.
I got two more. We haven't gone to the other two.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah, no. I just want, because you're going somewhere where, kind of like where we're at.
Go ahead.
So I forgot, because we got into it, so we stopped at number 8. But number 9 was being kind and compassionate.
Okay.
So that's part of the manners. So you're right. I violated my manners, I guess, because I wasn't being kind and compassionate. Or I feel guilty now because you pointed out a scenario for me that I didn't think about at that moment.
Which I think is what happens in life, right? We just don't think about what our words are going to cause.
Right. But again, like I said, I felt I was in that circle of trust.
Place. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
In a trust way. Because I consider them like friends.
Okay.
Parent friends.
Yeah.
Right? We spend a lot of time together.
Yeah, we all spend every week together. Yeah, at least one day.
And we talk and whatever, right? So
and then the next one?
And then the last one was stop wasting food. So I'm going to read what they wrote on the bottom of this one. Because that's an interesting one.
Manners, I guess.
So it says, kids must be taught not to waste food, or wasting food is like stealing from the poor. They must know the value of the food they have and respect every bite. Okay.
We were taught that, right? When you're a child, you're told you must finish your food. You're reminded that there's children starving in some other poor country that would love to eat the food that you have on your plate. So it's good manners to finish what you're served. Yet when you go to an auntie's house and she serves you an adult-sized plate, that's just too much food.
auntie. I'm talking about those
La-
grandma
grandmas.
plays,
Well,
y te lo vas a
okay.
comer todo,
Yeah.
no picking no onions out
Yeah.
of the plate.
And
You
then,
eat
but
everything.
if you didn't finish, it was being rude and disrespectful and not having proper manners.
Oh, right, because you're letting them know that they're horrible cooks.
Yeah, even though your little tummy just couldn't fit it all in there. Again, I think manners are ultimately just a baseline of human behavior that we teach our children just so that we can get through polite society.
Yeah. Well, this one's just a funny one that I just popped up. We'll post a link for it if somebody wants to read it. Just the heck of it. It's for kids, and they have like other links of other interesting things. I just thought it was like, 10, me,
Yeah. Yeah.
oh, Olga, 10 things, easy. Ooh,
Yes.
know. But they covered some good stuff in there.
Well, I looked up the definition of manners.
Okay.
And it says a person's outward bearing or way of behaving towards others. So there's several different definitions in here, but ultimately, like I said, I think it's just a baseline. A basic way of being. Like, if you can be respectful of your elders, if you can be polite, if you can be honest and truthful, if you can learn to listen, all these things are just a way of surviving society.
Right. But most importantly, I guess what I'm taking away from this now, as we talked about it, is so manners is pretty much just for children. Right, because when you become an adult, it kind of just all goes away.
It does really go away.
So we just want to teach our children, which is just the beginning and foundation of the people that they're going to grow up, right? So we're teaching them to be, polite, please, thank you, being respectful, being helpful. I guess it does carry on to later on in life. I mean, there are certain things, and my kids have seen me where I end up being a nice guy, right? I go out of my way to help other people.
Yeah. But you're also a big joker.
I am.
And
I'm
a big sale. You can come across rude.
Right. Yeah. And you point that out. And I like, honestly, the fact that I'm showing empathy, that I feel bad about it. Yeah. I think it's just one of those things that's coming to me with old age as I'm becoming older. And I'm starting to realize things that, or try to see things in a different way that I didn't before. So now I'm just kind of like, I should just shut up and just not talk and just sit there and be quiet. But then I remember,
it's so hard to do.
But then I remember a time in my life when I was a teenager and I went through that phase where everybody's like, I don't like him. He's always angry. He doesn't want to socialize with anyone. He doesn't want to be part of the crew or part of the, And I was like, because if I open my mouth, I'm going to hurt people's feelings, or they're not going to like what I have to say, or he's too loud, or not. He can never be serious because he's always joking. Or everything has a double meaning with him.
Oh, this is true.
Because he's always joking.
Well, and again, that's now as an adult, right? I think we can agree then at this point that manners are for children, ultimately. Manners are for children.
Think about it. We still need manners at work.
Yeah, we should still have manners.
We're trying to be professional.
We should still have manners as adults. But the emphasis is on children because as adults, now we can critically think about things and we make decisions. Like if a kid doesn't, we go to a family member's house.
Right.
Some families don't force their kids to hug and kiss the people in that house.
Right.
But we do.
Oh yeah.
Right? We go to TJ to see somebody. You go and you hug and kiss every person in that room, even if you don't know them. Yet others would say, no, that's, not a safe space and out of my bubble, and I don't feel comfortable doing it, so I'm not going to force my kids to do it.
Well, that's whatever the traumas they might have, right? I mean, like again, cultural wise, right?
Yeah. Whereas we're going to be like, I don't care that you don't know that person. You go introduce yourself and you say, hi, nice to meet you. Hugs and kisses.
That is another thing that I was taught as a kid. Thank you for bringing that up. I keep on thinking about it and I keep on forgetting about it. And right now that you're saying that, introductions, right?
Yes.
I remember my dad was always very firm on strong handshakes, eye contact, stand up straight.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. And we try to do that with the kids too.
And then women, like you said, kiss on the cheek. Hello, half a hug, whatever. If it's a man, especially immediate, your brother, your uncle, you embrace, you grab that hand and you pull him and you give him that half hug or that full hug with a kiss on the cheek and how you doing?
Yeah.
You know?
And we do that with the kids. Like we'll go to my brother's house and we all, just kind of trickle into the house at some point. And my brother, I'll go and I'll hug and kiss my brother. You'll go and hug and kiss my brother. And we make sure the kids do it, right? We're like, okay, girls, go hug him. If we see that they didn't do it, we're like, did you do this? And they're like, yeah. And then my brother will confirm.
I wish it wasn't so late. I will call your brothers right now. I would call them and I would ask them because I never thought about it. Because when I first met them, I automatically pulled them and gave them a kiss. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know if you guys did that or not. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, no, we do that.
I didn't think about that.
But I don't see us doing that with other people. Like in this circle of football families, right? In my circle of girlfriends, we see each other, hugs and kisses when we see each other. Oh, how you been? Hugs and kisses. Or even someone you haven't seen in a long time. This football family that we've been spending all our summer with, right? Now, 3 months in with these people. I think I've hugged 2 moms once.
Oh, all right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's funny because now that you're saying that, I'm thinking about my coworkers right from my previous position. We hung out outside of work. And they all gave you a kiss.
The what?
They gave you a kiss on the cheek when they met you.
Oh, yes. When we went to have dinner with them. Mm-hmm.
And
they never knew me. They'd never met me before.
Outside of work, you saw me also. We held hands, pulled each other in, and we gave each other a hug. And I think one of them gave me, like, one of the guys gave me a kiss, and I gave him, like, a kiss, too. Like, yeah, how you doing, bro?
Yeah.
Like
that's, I think, cultural, though. Excuse me. In the States, I don't really know too many families that hug and kiss. It's just really more
like my sister, right? Like my sister got remarried.
Latinos.
Yeah, my sister got remarried, and it's funny right now that you're saying that because I'm thinking about this. This is what made me think about your brothers. Her husband. The moment every time I saw him, I was like, "Hey, what's up, man?" Like the half hug, right? Because I didn't know if they were going to get married. I mean, they were older or whatever. Things are different. She's already a divorced woman, and maybe she just never wants to get married again. But I remember after they were married and whatever not, I always embraced him like a brother. I hug him, give him a kiss. Mm-hmm. And she said it was like, it means the world to me to see you do that. Like
to accept him. Yeah,
it just seems like he's family. Like you don't even think about it. There's no hesitation from you. Like you just fully embrace him and like, you give him love. Like I know that if he needed something, you will be there for him. Like it's just like to you, he's family. I was like, well, he is. He's your husband. Like
yeah. So so definitely manners in close-knit households, right? Close-knit families, because that's really what it comes down to. Is like these manners are more instilled in households where there's a lot of family.
Yeah, you got me thinking, man. I'm like trying to think, and I was like,
that
you're right. It could be cultural, because even like my father, like I said, we have a really weird relationship, and I've never not kissed a man, no matter how angry I am or how many years we go without talking. Whenever I see him, I give him the respect that he's my father. So I still give him a handshake and I pull him and I give him a kiss. I can tell there's times when he doesn't want that from me. I can tell.
Because you feel like the tug back, like
like
the resistance,
face, like like the cheek. It's not the hand or not the arm.
Head movement.
It's just like the head movement. Like he's like like there's like a weird smirk to it. And I remember my brothers making fun of it, like, oh, if you chew, like, oh, kissing ass to daddy still, whatever not. But then I'm like, shut up, fucker. You gave me a kiss too when you saw me. Like, do you not realize that you also do it, or is it just comes naturally when it happens? Well, except for that one brother and me, because every time we go to give each other the hug and the kiss, like we always hit each other in the nuts.
Well, that's different. Well, I can say culturally, and again, maybe it's just stateside.
Well, now that
This
it's
is
like
about this.
you're invading my personal space.
I know. Well, in a family that I used to spend a lot of time with, there is a grandmother. And the first time I met the grandmother, I went and I gave her a hug and a kiss. And her comment to the whole family was, "I wish my grandchildren would give me hugs and kisses."
That's it.
And that was a different culture than my own. And I was like, "Oops."
Was this your previous relationship?
Yes.
Yeah. So they were Indian, right?
Yeah. So the grandma was like, "I wish my own grandchildren would give me a hug and a kiss."
And it's funny you say that because I thought they were like that too.
I thought they were also, but based on that grandmother's comment, the first time I met her,
well, it's got to be because they're Americanized.
And that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's because it's their stateside. They're born here, raised here, and that's just not emphasized.
Right.
Yet, whenever we'd go to parties, there was a lot of hi, hug, and not necessarily hugs, but definitely handshakes.
Right.
You know, especially the men. You know, the women on the men aren't hugging and kissing each other. There's like a handshake with the men, but the ladies would usually hug and kiss.
Yeah.
You know, type of thing. So
that's a common thing for women. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but you still went around and introduced yourself to everybody. You said hello to everybody, especially the hosts of the household.
Yeah, and let me clarify something, people, right? In case you like, don't do this. Don't think that it's like you're grabbing the person, you're pulling them and like grinding
full body
against
grind.
them, and like like getting your in the neck and
don't nuzzle your mic.
It's not like that. It's like your ass sticks out like kind of like a hug, and like it's just cheek, like the microphone is your face, and I'm like, mwah.
What about the air kisses?
Yeah, and then
they
kind of irritate me.
My cousin and my cousins and I do air kisses. We do.
Yeah, no, I get it. I mean, I've had a beard now for, I don't know, 15 years now. So I know some people don't want to feel
the facial hair. It's going to make them throw up like on Mordecai.
Yeah. His wife. Yeah. They don't want to do that. I understand. Not everybody can handle a man.
These are the manners that we were taught, right? So as adults, we still do it, or it's probably even still expected of us in those groups, right? Yeah. Because if we go to like a friend's party, just a random friend's party, I don't think no one's expecting you to go and hug and kiss everybody. You might still be expected to go introduce yourself, but not go hug and kiss everybody.
I'm trying.
You're really good at that. I'm not good at introducing myself. You are.
Well, I just think that that's part of manners.
Yeah.
To me, that's part of manners.
Well, for me, it's like I think I'm a little shy.
I feel bad when I don't do that. I feel like crap. I feel like I disrespected the people. But then if it went a little bit too long, I was like, it's too late. It's just you're gonna make.
I'll go late if I don't do it at the first.
I'm trying to think. There was something we did not that long ago. I don't know if it was one of the football things. You're saying that, and we were saying bye or something. I can't remember what the heck it was. But in the beginning, I was like, "Hey, how you doing?" Blah blah. By the time we were leaving, it was like, "Man, come here! Like, we Hispanic. Get your ass over here. We hug. We hug and give a kiss. Like, well, bye.
Okay.
How we going? I'm trying to remember what it was.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, even as much time as I've been spending with all those ladies, I've only maybe hugged.
But like you said,
two of them.
I guess it's like with people that you can relate with, right? Because it's like if you're Hispanic and Hispanic, you already know that's expected. That's something that we do. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like there was a family, a couple of families in the football thing, and you're like you say, you're barely getting to know each other. You don't know what's up or whatever. Not. Maybe it's that testosterone thing for me, and I was like, I don't know about that guy. I don't think I like that guy.
Yeah, blah, blah, I remember that. Yeah,
and it's like, man, fuck that dude. And
now you know them,
and so you get to know people, and you're like, all right, I can cope with them or whatever now, right? But then you get to know people on a personal level, and they start talking about, I was like, oh, what? You're ex-military? What's up? Now I was like, hey, what's up, brother? What are you doing? And it's like, it kind of like a half hug now, and it's like a big old handshake now. Not like
versus
before
the awkward wave from a distance.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And you're like, so now it's like, oh, we have this thing in common. We're ex-military.
Yeah.
Like, get your ass over here.
Well, another example was one of the dads. I remember one day he was leaving, like we were done, and then he's like, bye everybody. But he's Latino, he's Hispanic. And then like you could see him as he's walking away, like he had like a second guess himself on walking away without shaking hands. And he came back and shook hands.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
You know,
it happens to me. I feel bad.
And he, but I saw him because I was like watching them walk away. I was like, bye, you know, just me waving, bye. And I saw him stop. And like a thought, you could see like the little clock, the little cogs working. And then he turned around, he came back, shook hand, and then went and shook everybody else's hands. So I was like, again, because we're still getting comfortable with one another and the difference in cultures and, you know, you don't know what people's boundaries are anymore. And like what manners are still okay. You know, clearly hugging is not, that manner is not going to work. But the most basic ones, I think we've gone off on a long tangent. We just stick to the basics.
It's interesting. I mean, manners.
Well, because the manners
Do they matter?
Do manners matter?
Manners matter.
Manners matter.
I think they do.
I think manners matter too.
Make manners great again.
Make manners great again.
Make manners great. Did I say make matters?
Matters. Yeah, it sounded like matters.
Make manners great again, or make manners matter.
Yeah, I think this
manners
topic
matter.
Can get a little convoluted because manners and then the way we act towards people based on how we feel about them are not the same thing.
Well,
you can not like someone and still be courteous.
Right.
Right?
Right.
You can still be like, I really don't like that person at work, but I'm still going to nod, acknowledge their existence.
Okay, yeah. So courteous, right.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Courteous. So being courteous could be part of a manner.
Being courteous is having manners.
Right.
So you don't have to like the person. That now is part of just behavioral. Now you're being rude.
Like I said before, right? At work, like you have to be courteous because you're at work,
yes,
right?
It's professional.
Like it's a professional. No matter what you think about the person, whatever.
Yes.
And that's the thing at work. Sometimes people get confused because you spend so much time with the people at work that they can become your friends, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes they're like, oh no, we're friends. We're not just coworkers. We're friends. Like, let's do this, let's do that. But then you have moments where you feel disrespected, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, you're in HR.
Yeah.
I thought we were friends.
Yeah, exactly. Well, again, it's a fine line, and that's why they tell you shouldn't really make friends at work.
Right.
Because you just don't know.
I've made the comment before when people, that jokes are being said or things are being said or whatever not, and I'm just like quiet or whatever not, and I nod my head, and I'm like, I get paid to be nice, man. Like, I'm like, honestly, if I really spoke what I think and if I said what I thought, like, I believe me, like we wouldn't be talking. Like, I get paid to be nice to you guys.
I wonder sometimes when we think that somebody is being rude, and then we therefore believe that they don't have manners. If it's just us, I lost my train of thought.
I just think that a lot of the older people really don't have manners, which is and
older.
Yeah, a lot of I noticed that a lot of older people don't have manners.
Is it because they no longer have patience?
And that could be it. Like,
they don't care.
There's
anymore.
older people, there's younger people. I just think there's a group of people that show no matters. Oh my god, manners.
We're tired.
All.
We're getting tongue twisted.
Yeah, no manners at all. And it's like sometimes I find it amazing. And I try to give everybody, like, I try to use my manners. I try to be courteous. I greet, hello, yes sir, no sir, you know, and they might get offended by it, but they're older than me. That's how I was raised. Because if my dad, oh my goodness, that was one of my dad's rules. Like when I started working with him, I was like, I don't give a damn. They're not your friends. They're older than you. You treat them with respect.
Yeah.
You know?
I just thought of another example of whether this is rude or bad manners. So at work, a high-ranking person walks in, kind of storms in, and we always greet them when they walk in the door. And everyone's like, "Good morning, good morning, good morning." This person, I was the only one at the front this time, and I said good morning when they stormed in. They walked right past me, straight into their office, slammed all their stuff on the table without ever acknowledging anybody. Now, was that rude or bad manners? Or do I just don't think about it because clearly they were having a bad day?
So that's my other thing. May I speak my mind on this?
Yes, speak your mind.
I really don't give a shit what's going on in your life or what's wrong with you. You leave that shit there.
Yeah. What if it has to do with work, though?
Okay, so it's work. Is it your fault? Did you cause it?
Right.
Okay. No. So if you say hello to me, you say good morning to me, I will at least nod my head or say morning. Even if I'm in a bad morning.
Yeah.
I'm letting you know that I see you and I acknowledge you.
Acknowledge me. Okay. All right.
So
then it's bad manners.
Yes, but you gave me the respect to greet me even though you saw me storming or you offered to help me, whatever. Right? That's one of my things. That's one of the things that drives me crazy at work too, is that I'm like you said, we don't know what's going on in people's life, obviously, right? But what makes you think that I don't have fucking problems or I don't have issues or shit going on? How do you know that I'm able to pay my mortgage this month or that I have enough gas money to make it to work or that I have enough to feed my kids and I'm fucking stressing or that, me and my dad haven't spoken in years and it's my daughter's birthday and she wants to know why she can't see her grandfather, whatever it is. Something's driving you crazy, but I'm not. I'm still here at work and I'm saying, hey, good morning to you. I'm still saying, may I help you? I say, how you doing? And we all have issues. We all have problems.
Yeah.
But I'm not taking it out on everybody else.
Yeah.
My wife wants to leave me or, you know what I mean? We all have something.
Yeah. There's definitely those people who can't hide it. Like, we know people.
And sometimes I think that's a cry for help, right?
Okay.
Ask me. Like, okay, are they, hey, are you okay?
I'm afraid to ask because sometimes they might get more mad.
Of course you're afraid to ask because if they already were rude to you like that and you're like, hey, are you okay? It's none of your goddamn business. Fuck off.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
My bad.
I'm sorry. I just saw that, you didn't look happy. I just wanted to be a friend.
Yeah.
But you're not my fucking friend.
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, wow, all right. So now your feelings are hurt because you're trying to be a human being and try to be there for someone. And at the same time, you're like, wow, that was very disrespectful. I was trying to be nice and courteous, and you, spit on my face 3 times right now.
Yeah.
So, screw you. You're my shit list now.
Okay.
Strike 1, 2, and 3. Boom, we're done.
Okay. So, so still, ultimately, the point is that it doesn't matter on that what your mood is. Leave your shit at the door.
Yeah.
And if someone says hello or goodbye or whatever, you just do your basic manner and respond.
I always make this joke about I have a commute to work so I can have that time to leave whatever's going on at home on the back burner behind me, and then I'm there. And then whatever happens at work, I have the commute home to leave that work shit behind me.
Yeah.
And sometimes when it's really bad at work, what's the first thing I do? I come straight and I go into take a shower.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I need to wash that tension, that energy off me. I don't want that on me, and I don't want to bring it to my house, to my kids, to my wife, to my pets. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. We all have issues, people.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you can't be courteous and have good manners, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, well,
it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt people. It doesn't hurt to be nice.
It doesn't
hurt to smile.
It doesn't cost you anything to just say hi back.
Say hello.
Nod your head.
Hola.
Teach your kids to do the same.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's really lost on a lot of kids.
Kids
and the thing is with kids though, I know that some kids are really polite and courteous at home and just total little pricks outside of home. And then there's others that are vice versa that could be kind of naughty and disrespectful at home, but because you've been instilling all these ideas in their head, they end up being really good outside of home.
It's just, I don't think I see that anymore. It's like a lot of the kids, I greet them, and there's no greet back.
Yeah, I get weird looks.
Yeah, we volunteer to do things or feed them or help them, and then not even a thank you. Not all of them.
The football team's pretty good at saying thank you.
Though there's times when I see kids like throwing a tantrum, and I'm talking about kids that are about to become men. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're acting like the worst thing on the side, crying and bitching and woe is me.
But don't you? I mean, are you talking about football players?
Just in general, like you go to the store. How many times have you hear the kids throwing the tantrums? And why couldn't you get me the 32-inch tires on my new pickup truck? What's wrong with you? They just expect so much.
But that's because their parents have spoiled them,
right.
And they haven't taught them to value.
Exactly. So if they couldn't even teach them that, then they don't have manners.
They didn't teach them any manners.
If they're making scenes out in public and talking back to their parents and... Can you imagine talking back to your parents out in public or screaming to them or raising your voice? What happened?
I get in so much trouble.
Yeah.
You get mad at our kids when they raise their voice at me. And yeah, you're all like, mother. Don't you disrespect your mother like that? So I appreciate it.
Nah, sometimes you don't because you're like, oh, that was too...
Well, because and again...
Yes, people. There are times when I hear a little tone, a little way that they talk. I was like, boy, I'm going to pop you in that mouth if you talk to your mother like that.
I look at it in the sense that sometimes I'm not paying attention.
Yeah, but
so I don't even notice.
Yeah, and then you're like, oh, like, don't say that to them. We don't talk to them. I was like, oh, okay, all right. But see, again, there we go. It's the boys. You're like, I don't hear
That's a different topic. We're not going down that subject.
But if it's the girls, it's like, young lady's like, she didn't say nothing wrong. No, I was like, no, she was just talking to you.
That's a different subject. Let's not go down that rabbit hole right now. Anyway, manners. Okay, so ultimately, that was manners, right? Manners are important.
How many
and
of us
teach
have
your kids
manners? Manners, get the pen on.
Manners.
Stupid. Yeah. So manners. Does it matter to you? Does it matter to you that you have manners or that your children will have manners?
I think so. I don't think most people care.
No. It's one of those dying things.
Yeah. It's all about me. It's all part of that group. All right. Well, that's it.
Well, thanks a lot, guys. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us again. And so I apologize for my nasally weird voice.
Yeah. That's okay. Hopefully it'll be better soon.
Yeah, hopefully. All right. Well, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Good night.